Okay. Hmm. Okay. Welcome to yoga for stress relief. We're going to start today with some breath work. We are going to use a ball today, so make sure you have some sort of ball, a yoga tune-up ball or a tennis ball. And then do your best to sit tall. So sit any way that's comfortable for you. I'm sitting on a block, but sit any way that feels good in your body. And you can always lay on your back for this breathing stuff too. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Just let yourself settle. Breathe down into the hips. Feel your legs touching the earth. Get settled in your seat. As you inhale, grow tall, lengthen through the spine. Breathe lots of space in between the ribs. Breathe lots of space around the heart, the sides of the heart, the armpits, the back of the heart. And keep lengthening through the throat and the crown. And keep that fullness as you exhale. Let the shoulders settle onto the back of the heart. Allow the skin to soften over the bones. And drop into Ujjayi Pranayama, a gentle tone in the back of the throat. You can imagine that you're fogging a mirror, but even more gentle than that. And keep your lips closed. Let your inhale be full. And let your exhalation be complete. Really push all the air out. Relax your jaw, your tongue. Relax the muscles around your eyes and lips. And just take these first few moments to arrive here. Letting go of any busyness that it took to get you here or any plans that you have to do later. And just allow yourself to be right here in this moment, watching your breath, feeling sensation in the body. Notice the expansion and contraction of the belly and the ribs. Notice the rise and fall of the chest and the back of the heart. Notice the sound of your breath. And the next time you inhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And take this time to set an intention for your practice, to make an offering or a prayer. And we'll start today chanting one Om together. Take a deep breath in. Oh. Bow your head to your heart. And release your hands. We're going to start on our back. So come onto your back. Just pull the knees in, rock around a little bit. Get the ball nearby, but we're not going to use it quite yet. Do some little circles around your sacrum, your low back. And then play with rocking way over to the right and way over to the left. And then land on the right side with both arms also pointing to the right. And then inhale, open your left arm towards a twist. So inhale, open the left arm. You could just go as big as you want. And exhale to close. And you're opening the shoulder towards the floor. Your head can roll too. Do that a couple times. And then next time you're open, hold the twist for a couple giant breaths. Really big breath into the belly, the lungs, the heart. Big exhale. See if you can settle just a little more. And then close your shape. And then roll yourself all the way to the other side. So knees to the left and arms to the left. Opening and closing the right arm. Just go with your breath. Inhale to open your shape. Exhale to close. And then hold the open, the twist. 2 really full breaths in. Breathe up the whole right side of the body, the right hips and belly and lungs, the right shoulder, the right side of the heart, the right side of the face and brain. And then close your shape. And then roll back onto your back. And get your feet ready for bridge pose. So spread the toes, feet nice and strong. Inhale, take the arms all the way up and overhead. So the backs of the hands are pushing into the floor. Your arms are like shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, and then lift the hips to bridge. So inhale, the hips are up and the arms are up. And then exhale, hips come down and the arms come back down towards the floor. So little movement with the breath. Inhale, hips reach up, arms float up and over. Do a little pause once your hands touch the floor behind you. Try to equally push into the right and left foot, equally pushing into squeezing into the right and left bum. Notice if you tend to lean onto one side more than the other, which is common. And then the next time your hips are up, arms are up, stay there. Keep your hips lifted while you exhale and squeeze all the air out. And think about squeezing your diaphragm up towards your face, up into the lungs. So hold the exhale, squeeze your diaphragm up into the lungs as you reach your bum down towards the floor. So I want you to feel like this really big stretch, but kind of like in your guts, in your diaphragm. And then let the arms kind of reset down by your hips. Take a big in breath. Hips and arms reach up and over. Hold the hips up. Exhale all the air out. Think about squeezing your diaphragm up while you traction your bum towards your feet and your hips come down. So squeeze the diaphragm up into the lungs and the ribs. Bum reaches down towards the toes. Reset the arms. We'll do one more of those. Inhale, hips up, arms up. Big inhale, hold the hips up while you exhale. Suck your diaphragm up towards your face and reach your bum long towards your heels. And then rest. I hope you can kind of feel that internal stretch of your belly. Okay, let's get the balls or ball and work the shoulders and upper back. So do one ball at a time. This is something you could do. Technically, you could do two balls, but we'll just do one ball at a time. So put it pretty high on your upper back shoulder, and hands are just behind the head, like a little pillow. So this is like your trap muscle, like the muscles that off your neck and into your shoulder. You want to dig in there. And so just land on that to start. This is very intuitive, but I'm going to, so you can kind of make things up as you go. I will talk you through some variations here. So one, you just lean on the ball, kind of let yourself settle. A lot of times when we do ball stuff, our body like tightens up around the ball. So you do need to kind of give it a second to soften around the ball. And sometimes squeezing your muscles tight first and then trying to soften can help. So you can kind of compare the tightness and then tell your body it's okay to soften over the ball. So just being still, kind of leaning on the ball, you can pick your head up and roll a little bit right and left. And like I said, like you could have one ball on each shoulder. I think it's more intense to do the two balls at the same time. It's a little less intense to have one at a time. Then a little, like pick up your butt. If you want more, you pick up your butt. That'll lean a lot of weight into the shoulders. So if you feel like you found a spot that needs a little extra digging, you can lift your hip. You could also lift your hips just to scoot yourself down an inch or up an inch. We're going to stay pretty high on the upper back today. So we'll be like up on the shoulders and then we'll go towards the mid back eventually, but we're not going to go into the low back. So kind of play with just scooching yourself a little bit. The ball is about under the back of your heart, kind of on the wing of your shoulder. We're going to play with moving the arm. So you can leave the other hand behind your head and just play around with moving the arm. It'll change the sensation. So you can reach it up, you can reach it overhead, you can reach it across your body. You can do like snow angels. So it's pretty, it's pretty intense. So go very, very slow. And if you find a spot that needs a little extra breath, take it, pause. If you find yourself doing the holding, the clenching, the tightening, stop, try to settle. So this is just experimenting. You can take your arm out to the side. You could do like cactus arm. You can play with moving the arm in the cactus shape and just noticing how it changes the shape of your shoulder blade, the wing of the back of your heart, as you move the limb, your arm. And then try to get a little, so you're right next to the spine, not on the middle of the spine, right next to it. And you're just going to keep going, slowly inchworm your way a little bit lower and do just a little wiggle side to side on each vertebra. And just you're in charge. If it's like way too much, go ahead and back off. If you're like, oh, I need a little deeper, go ahead and push more. So it's okay to go along the ribs and the bones of the shoulders. Try not to go right on the vertebrae in the middle, just right next to the muscles of the spine. One more thing to play with often is you stretch the legs straight that the ball is on, and you do this little jiggle. Like you kind of point and flex that bottom foot and it'll rock you a little bit. That's a lot. So it's okay if you're like, that's too much. Okay, so kind of work your way back towards the shoulder. We'll eventually get onto the other side, but take your time, go slow, pause, use your breath to get deeper rather than lifting your hips to push in. Try to just take a big breath into the ball instead of up towards the sky. Breathe down into your back. And then eventually, just pause and feel before you go right into the second side. Maybe move your arms around, feel the shoulders, feel the difference. And then get into the second side. Let's see if I can go this way. So starting pretty high on the upper back shoulder. Take your time, starting on this side. So hands behind the head like a pillow. You can even like pull your elbows together. Feel how that changes it. Take your elbows wide. Feel how that changes it. Lift your head, rock a little right and left. Take your time kind of working your way down towards the back of the heart, shoulder blade. Once you find that spot, just pause, breathe. Play with maybe a little squeeze of the muscle and then a relax of the muscle. See if it can melt around the ball. Also, if you do want to do this on your own, it'll be a little less intense if you're on the wall. If you're standing at the wall, that'll be a little less. But it is also nice to kind of just lay, not have to hold yourself up. Okay, so play around with the arms and just make it up. Breathe. Maybe you just hold the arm straight up and stay. Maybe you play with a little rotation of the arm bone, externally and internally rotating. Maybe it's more of the snow angel, taking your arm wide and sweeping it up down. And be okay with like adjusting where the ball is. And then slowly, we're going to work our way down towards the middle of the back. Take your time. And then, so you're getting close to the spine, but not directly on it. So really trying to hit the muscles right next to the vertebrae. And then with each little vertebrae, try to do a little lean right and left, just a teeny tiny one. And then you just pick up your bum, inch it down a tad, rock a little right and left, go slow. If you find yourself, like clenching and holding your breath, having a longer exhale than your inhale can help. And then kind of pause. You can play with this little jiggle. Really, it can be anywhere when you play with that. So the leg is long on the same side as the ball. And just let that kind of fast point and flex jiggle the torso. And then starting to make your way back up towards the shoulder slowly. Watch out for your hair getting stuck in the ball. And then slowly let that go. I'm just going to do one little ab thing here. So stretch your legs long, flex the feet, keep the hips heavy. They're not allowed to lift up. Take your right arm across and reach towards the knee, like as high as you can. And then inhale to back off and switch. The left arm is reaching across towards the knee. Try not to let the hip lift. It wants to. And see how far you can reach. We just opened up the back line of the body. Usually I do this first, and before we do the rolling, forgot to do that. But you can kind of compare. Just do one more each side. Kind of pause, reach, keep the legs anchored. Other side. Good. And then rest. Shake it out. And get ready to come to hands and knees for cat and cow. And take your time. So putting any squishy things under your knees. My blanket today. But any extra padding you need for your knees, do that. Spread the fingers. Just take a couple cat and cows. Inhaling your heart forward. Exhaling, curling in. And any little wiggles you like to kind of warm up. Maybe it's little rib circles. And then come back to hands and knees and start your cat and cow from the tailbone. So inhale, the tailbone starts to go up towards the sky, and then the low back, the middle back, and the heart and the head follow. And then exhale, let the head lead the way. So the head drops, then you're moving through the upper back, middle back, tailbone. So I like to imagine a fern uncoiling. So start at the tailbone, slowly ripple your heart forward. You probably won't go quite as big doing it this way. And then start at the skull. The head drops, then round the upper back, middle back, low back. Just do one more like that. Really trying to ripple and articulate through each vertebrae. Then keep the round, come back to child's pose, and round your back as much as you can. So you're more rounded than normal in this child's pose. Let your head tuck. And if you need to make a pillow with your hands, do that. Then round yourself up to sitting on your heels, and you might like to have a block or sit any way that's comfortable for you. We're going to do a couple things here. Kneeling. So you could either sit this way or cross your legs if that feels more comfortable to you. But we're playing with the spine today. So flexion, you're rounding yourself in like we just did towards that child's pose. You don't have to go all the way. And then uncoil yourself up. And then extension, so like a back bend, doesn't have to be huge, but open your chest and lift your heart And hands can be on the floor behind you or at your low back, wherever works. Exhale, curl yourself in. And then inhale to grow yourself tall. Just go at your own pace. Playing with folding forward and back bending. And really trying to play with the spine undulation. Okay, next time you're tall, side bend. So right hand to the floor, left arm reaches over. We'll just go back and forth at your own pace. So the spine needs to move in 5 directions. So forward fold, back bend, side bend, and twist. I guess that could be 6. Okay, hold the twist. Let your head be heavy. Keep your head heavy as you reach the arm behind you. And it could reach a little bit behind you and towards the floor. You're trying to get in the neck here. So let your head be heavy. Reach the arm. And then play with the chin rotating kind of towards the floor and towards me. Just a little side to side. And you could also add movement of your wrist. So your chin is turning towards the floor. You flex the hand. And your chin is turning towards me. You kind of point a hand, I guess. So you're moving your wrist forward and back. And then reach the arm one more time up and over, big breath. And then come upright, other side. Left arm, or right arm reaches. Hold the reach. Let your head be heavy. And then the arm reaches behind you, towards the floor and a little bit behind. Little movement of your head and your chin, just kind of rotate down, and feel free to pause if a spot needs to stay. And then if you want to add the flexing of the hand. And then big reach up and over. And come upright. Get ready to twist. So twisting right and left, just go at your own pace. But try not to, like, it's fine to put your hands down, but try not to use your hands to crank it into a bigger twist. Really try to let it be coming from the spine strength, and the core strength. So exhale as you twist. Inhale, coming through center. And then come up to hands and knees. Take a big stretch in down dog. Stretch it out. Tuck your toes, reach your hips up. Any little wiggles you like to do here. Spread your toes a lot. Make your feet work. Just breathe. Come forward to plank pose. And lower down slowly onto your belly. Work your arm strength. Go slow. Inhale into your cobra. Lift your heart. Take down dog when you're ready. No rush. Big stretch. One more of those. Come forward to plank. You can bring your knees down if you need to. Go slow. Work your arm strength. Big open heart. Shoulders back. Any version of a back bend. It can be a cobra. or Sphinx pose. Heart open, shoulders behind you. And then down dog. And then come to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward between the hands. You might like your blocks under your hands here. And again, squishy things under your knees. Scooch the back knee back just a tad. And just go back and forth with the hips. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, hips back. Okay, so then take your stride just a little bit closer. So your hip is over the knee and the knee is over the foot. So it's a little bit shorter than normal. And we're going to play with that same kind of spinal work that we did in that seated version. So from here, tuck your chin round your back and your hands might touch the blocks or they might get all the way to the floor. You're trying to round. And then you uncoil yourself, inhale, open your heart into some sort of a back bend. It doesn't have to be huge, but trying to stretch the front body and then curl in. And I'm really enjoying leaving my arms out of it, but you can take the arms up and let the arms get more involved. Then come upright. Your blocks will be kind of closer to your legs, so your hands can touch for the side bend. So one arm reaches up and over, and you're just moving with your breath. So take your time, work the stability of the legs, and linger as long as feels good. And you could even do side bending with no arms. Just a little different. Okay, let's play with the twist. So exhale, twisting open twist. And then coming through center and close twist. So you got to pay attention to that front knee. It likes to follow your face. So try to keep it stable while your upper body's moving. Good. Okay, come back to center. Tuck your toe, lift the back thigh, and just do a little rock in the hips here. And get ready to come to crescent pose. So get your legs strong, hands on the thigh, arms reach up. Breathe. Big stretch through the front body. Lift your back thigh bone strong. Maybe go lower in your lunge. Get bigger and brighter. And then both hands down. Step back foot forward, forward fold. And let this be a little bit of a yogi's choice here. If you like to just dangle and sway your upper back or let your hips sway. Or bend and straight the legs. And then right foot steps back to your lunge. Back knee down. So just moving with the hips to start. Hips forward and back. Then scoot your legs a little closer, rounding in, and slowly uncoil, lean back. Rounding in. And get ready for the side bending. Blocks a little closer under your hips. Reaching right and left. Then twisting. So you can have no arms, or you can get the arms involved, play with twisting. Stabilize in the hips. Notice the wobbling and just play with it. And then coming to crescent pose slowly. So lift the back thighs, kind of shake it out to start. Just did a lot on that leg. And then coming upright when you're ready. Inhale, reach the arms up. Squeeze the muscles around that front leg. So the calf muscles pulling in, the hamstrings pulling in, all the muscles behind you are pulling forward. And then come into your forward fold, both feet forward. Shake it out. Okay, get ready to stand. Inhale to rise. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Just pause and check in. Feel your feet connecting to the earth. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And gently open your eyes. I'm going to do just a couple standing poses before we come back down. So take your left leg forward, and the back leg, the back foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. So we'll play with warrior two. Straighten both legs and reach the arms up as you inhale. And then bend front leg as you push your arms down. Exhale. And we'll do that a couple times. So pushing super strong through the foot. Try not to lock the knee. Go slow as you bend. Really try to work all the muscles in that leg that's bending. Inhale to reach. And then exhale. Hold your warrior two. Giant breath in. Really strong muscles. Exhale, side angle. Elbow on the top arm right by your face. So big side bend. And we'll play with a little half moon here. So bring the top hand to your hip, the bottom hand to your block. Step your back foot close, and then step your block forward so it's under the shoulder. And just play with balance here. So the moment this back foot leaves, this front foot wants to turn. So the work is try to be really stable with this front leg. It's working very, very hard. You don't have to go into any crazy, super big pose. Like your foot can even stay here and you're practicing balance here. Or you can extend the leg as high as your hip. Looking down at the floor is going to help. Looking around the room will be more challenging. You could also play with both hands down under your shoulders here. And then let's go right foot down, back foot down, whichever foot that is. Rest. And then get ready for the other side. So right toes turn. Just make sure you're going the other way. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell which guys are. Okay, couple rounds with this kind of in and out. So you're reaching up, bend, and reach up and bend. So as you're bending, you'll find an edge, but then squeeze your muscles and see if you can go another little centimeter down. And then hold your warrior two. Breathe. And then side angle, elbow on the thigh. Reach the arm. Then get ready to play with balance. So really, whatever that's looking like for you. But if you're playing with warrior, half moon, back foot steps forward, arm steps forward, leaning all the way into that front foot. And then play with kind of like letting the foot go and watching this bottom leg want to do, it wants to turn, it wants to pivot. Try to keep it super stable and strong. You got to squeeze the butt. So you can kind of do a tap and come out, or reach that leg as high as your hip. Both hands can be down too. That'll help with balance. You can stretch the arm up. Nice. And then get ready to rest. So let's go wide leg fold. So walk your hands, take your feet wide, hands in the middle. Wide leg fold. Okay. Come onto your back. Get ready for figure four. A little bit in the hip. So take your right foot over the left thigh. And then just kind of let your hips rock right and left. So the bottom foot can stay down while you play with this rock side to side. And then leave the arms down, like let them help kind of brace you and bring the legs in. And you could rock side to side there. It could be like pull them in and out. You can do little circles. If you want to grab the leg, you can too, but also be okay without using the arms. Then let the foot land, half happy baby. So this right leg comes kind of next to your ribs. You can grab the thigh, that you can grab behind the knee, you can grab the ankle or the outer edge of the foot. And then let the left leg just kind of fall to the left so it's heavy. And then slowly release. Step your feet kind of wide. Windshield wiper the legs right and left. Okay, second side, left ankle on top. Just leave the foot down for this first couple breaths. And maybe it just stays there the whole time. This can be plenty. Play with rocking a little right and left. And then pulling the legs towards you without using the hands, maybe. You can rock a little right and left, forward and back. If it really helps to grab the leg, you can do that too. Try not to round in order to grab though. Try to let the shoulders and hips stay heavy while you play in this shape. A little core work too, to not use the arms. Okay, let the foot come down. Half happy baby, either grabbing behind the knee, ankle, or if you can grab the foot, this right leg, just let it fall to the right so it's heavy. Breathe. Breathe into the inner thigh. Try to relax your shoulders. And then slowly release. Shake it out, windshield wiper the legs. And then take any last pose that you need in order to get kind of settled. Maybe you just tuck the knees in. Maybe you want to do a twist. So just take the next 3 or 4 or 5 breaths to kind of wind down and do whatever your body needs so that it'll be ready to rest in Shavasana. And then eventually getting yourself ready for Shavasana. So making sure you're really cozy, maybe a blanket under your knees or a shirt over your eyes. Relax fingers and toes. Bones heavy. Mind spacious. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Let the skin on your face be smooth. Eyes heavy. Mind spacious. Resting in stillness. Shavasana. Breathe into your belly, your lungs, and your heart. As you exhale, gently wiggle fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead. Take a lazy stretch. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Bend your knees, rest on your side. And come to seated as you're ready, sitting tall. And bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And take a moment to honor your efforts for showing up today. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. May you be happy and peaceful, healthy and strong, safe and protected, and may all beings benefit from your yoga practice. Thank you for coming. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie.
Welcome.
See you tomorrow.